or you jump on here and I have to turn your volume up, and he doesn't say much anyway.
No, but he shouldn't be working at 10 o'clock at night.
No, he really shouldn't. I kind of, yeah, no, you shouldn't, unless you're a student or you work nights.
Yeah, which he is neither.
Oh, in that case, stop working, patron. Come join us for conversation. So what have you been up to?
Not a huge amount. I've just been watching lots of Doctor Who because I decided to watch it all from when it restarted with Christopher Eccleston.
It's pretty cool. I did that a few weeks ago, just before the announcement of the newer Doctor, and then I stopped and started watching other stuff. My sister recently got a new TV, which, considering the size of the living room, this is a bit silly. It's a long room, but not very wide, and it's a 55-inch TV, I think.
Yeah, we've got one about that size, which we don't really need because we have a small front room.
Yeah. So I see this and I'm like, I don't understand why you need something so big, and a lot of shows on it, the resolution looks terrible because obviously the quality isn't as high as what the screen can do.
Yeah,
And I just, oh dear, it's a bit like my sister yesterday. She put a 360p thing from a tablet onto the TV.
okay.
And I was like, it may look okay on your tablet, but on a TV this big, dog shit. You have a 1080p option, use it.
Yeah, mind you, we've got a huge telly, and I watch most stuff on my tablet.
Yeah, I've got a tablet. I mostly use my laptop. I really should start using my tablet. I make the point. I render my videos in 1080p because the cartoon looks better in the highest resolution available.
Yeah,
it takes a long time to render, but it looks good. But if you're going to render in 360, damn, prepare for abuse because it's terrible.
Yeah, that's not going to look good on a massive TV.
No, it does not. So she's been mocked for that.
By the way, what did you think of the announcement of Bradley Walsh as the new companion?
I heard this, and he's a funny guy. I think if they
I'm a massive fan.
He's quite funny. He does a lot of TV stuff. He's not a bad actor, and I'm gonna wait. I would assume that his injection into the show is to add the comical element.
Yeah, I'm just kind of worried he might actually overshadow her a bit.
Maybe. It depends because I've not seen her in anything. So whether she has the capacity to be funny herself, which is what they need. They need a fun Doctor.
Yeah, she was in Attack the Block. I don't know whether you've seen that.
Nope. I don't watch much TV, so I know.
She's like the main female lead. It's like
Bradley Walsh
gangsters alien invasion film.
When I was talking to some Geordie idiot about Doctor Who, who's in the chat, about this, I sort of said that I was concerned if they introduced a male companion, he'd be used to like demasculinize him in that kind of comical humor. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that does still worry me because of who runs the show and how they intend to proceed. But I'll wait and see. I'm a patient man. I know people said, "Oh, they don't like it, heard it," but no one ever likes anyone who's cast on the show.
No.
And assistants, there haven't been many that were universally liked. And the worst one was probably either Catherine Tate's or Jenna Coleman. No one liked those two. They're terrible.
I quite liked Catherine Tate. I found it quite funny.
I did because she was funny,
because it
but
reminded
she
me a
was
bit
panned
of what I
because
know I would be like.
yeah, but she was panned anyway.
Yeah.
Freeman Agyeman wasn't that great either, personally. Never mind. What did you think of the announcement?
I'm looking forward to it a
Hello?
bit more. I'm looking forward to it a bit more because I quite like Bradley Walsh.
You're fangirling over the chase, aren't you?
I love the chase.
I can't stand that show.
It does
I
amaze
can't
me how
stand it.
stupid some people are on it.
Everyone's an expert after 1 or 2 rounds. I don't like the guy. There's one guy. He sits at the top. He's a monstrous built guy. I'm like, you need to lay off the pies.
Yeah.
It's some irony in a fat guy being involved in a show called The Chase.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bastard needs to learn to run. Then again, didn't he have a hissy fit on set once?
He did, yes. It
I
was
need to
quite
know
funny.
more about it. What happened?
He lost. He just lost his temper.
Lol. Awesome.
I
The more
think
he loses, the happier I am.
because I think they won quite a lot of money, the team that beat him.
Oh, even better.
So
That must be like can you imagine when the banker on Deal or No Deal goes to check his account and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm missing 250K because some dickhead managed to open the right box."
yeah.
Motherfucker.
Oh, did you see
I
that
used to
thing?
like that show.
I caught it on TV this morning, and it made both of us really angry that John Lewis have stopped labelling their kids' clothes.
Oh, the clothes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that yesterday. There was a news article, and it had like, there was a dress, and it said unisex, boys and girls dress. We don't want to conform to gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Because apparently
My sister
girls
and I,
girls like dinosaurs and boys like flowers.
so
They've made a dress with
that's what they,
dinosaurs on it.
yeah, the dinosaurs will make the boys want to wear it, but that doesn't mean it's boys' clothing. It's the silly thing. I don't understand why. I was talking to my sister about it, and she said to my sister, other sisters, little nearly 1 year old boy, he might grow up and be a tranny, and I'm like, I don't. If he does, I don't care. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But at this moment in his life, he's just a boy,
Yeah.
and she was like, I don't care. If my girl wants to grow up and be a boy, that's up to her. She can wear boys' clothes if she wants. I'm like, yes, but here's the thing. You're the mother, the sole parent. You have to be the one to help your child, guide your child. It's not one of those things where they just work it out. You've got to be there to help them. And at this point in their lives, they're still just that. They're just a boy or a girl because, their gender was assigned to them by a doctor, not chosen. And just of FYI, if when I was a kid, dresses had dinosaurs on, I would have been so happy.
Yeah. I think it's going too far. But there's loads of stuff on Twitter. People are like tweeting like places like Next and stuff saying you have to follow this example.
You have to do this, or we'll start a hashtag boycott next because that works so well.
It's
Let's
completely
boycott another
ridiculous.
massive clothing company that provides a huge percentage of the clothing in this country.
It's not going to
It's
happen.
okay. It's okay. Topshop will take up the mantle. They'll be reasonable with their prices. An embarrassment. I don't think it should be something forced. I don't think it should be something used as a reason to. With the excuses given, I don't think it's a good enough reason.
No, but the interesting
Saying
thing,
not conforming to.
yeah, but the interesting thing, they haven't done it apparently with their school uniforms.
Interestingly, about even more interesting with school uniforms, 1/5 of primary schools list the hijab as a part of its uniform.
Really?
Most people who have any brain cells know that the hijab is worn by adults, not children. But the arguments that have surfaced because of it have been centering around whether or not it's obviously free expression, or whether the person wearing it is free to choose whether they wear it or not. And that's interesting. I saw it again yesterday. I'll find
To
something.
be fair, when you're at primary school, you're still kind of at an age where your parents go, "You're wearing this." It's not even. It's the world's going crazy.
Okay, here we are. Yeah, that'll do. I'll screen share in a second. It is called Bellend. Present to everyone. There we go. Okay, so there we go. The hijabs as outrage. Muslims women's rights campaigners outraged that girls as young as 5 are theoretically allowed. Cool. I said it's interesting. It's the Muslim women's rights campaign. Do you agree because of this reason just below? Girl, which is puberty. It's like a almost like a marker. This girl is of age. She can now marry. She can now make babies.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Well, that's how it's treated, I guess.
Yeah.
And girls want. If you're 5 years old, if you're old enough to decide to wear the hijab, then surely you're old enough to decide to vote now. Let's lower the voting age to 5.
I mean, to be fair, I think it's probably a 5-year-old girl sees her mother wearing it. And it's like, I
Yeah.
want to be like my
Well,
mum.
that's actually that kind of point is validated with dating. If a girl has a strong relationship with her father, she'll want to date someone who typically is very similar in characteristics to her father, because that is a very attractive quality, not incestuous. It's just that's been proven. And it's the same with guys and their mothers.
Yeah, well, it's the Oedipus and
And I'm assuming,
Jocasta complex, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
I did classics at A level, so.
It is not clear whether most schools, of course it isn't, because they're not going to release the information, are they? Because then if you find out it's in religiously conservative areas, that would make sense. The interesting thing, some of the comments I remember seeing on this, right, centered around, I was on the Daily Mail site I saw it on. Some of the comments on it were, oh God, someone said, if you ban girls wearing hijab in school, you should ban the Jewish people from wearing whatever that thing is on the back of their head, because that's also, religious, and people from wearing crosses and stuff. I don't know how to respond to that. Do we also have to take any Jehovah's Witness at schools not door knocking glove? Let's see. Doesn't show percentage. It looks how many schools would allow it if child's parents were to put in a request. The ST says that 72 primary schools checked in Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham. Fucking Birmingham. The most depressing place on earth. So fucking depressing. I want to cut myself. Phillips is an MP there, and that accent was spot on.
Good evening.
Oh, you're here.
I'm here, yes. Sorry about that. I was got
Hang on,
involved.
I'm going to turn your volume up.
Oh, okay.
It's done.
You got involved with something, and I had to see it through. So I'm here now.
Right. Well, we're talking about Islam, something very advertiser friendly.
Very.
Okay. I just want to change the subject on something more entertaining. So, 2 days ago, I saw something, and I threw it on Twitter because it amused me. And then I saw Monday Matt and Charming Fag made videos on it. I was like,
Is this the L'Oreal
fuck
thing?
it, I'll now make. Yeah. So I pounced on it, made the video, and then found out by the time I'd done it, several other people had made their videos on it as well. I'm like, damn you, all of you.
I guess you didn't see GMTV this morning.
Oh, that's what I was about to talk about. I saw that this morning. It was so funny. Piers Morgan. Oh my God, Piers Morgan he fucking flayed her.
Yeah, I was watching the reactions on Twitter, and I was just like, "You go, girl." And I was like, "If you so lost this, How could you reasonably think she'd won that argument?
I did notice though, for once, Susanna Reid actually kept
he
her
actually
mouth
said-
shut.
What? He said, "I'm not sexist. I'm not racist. I'm not a homophobe. So who are you, with the greatest respect, who are you to say that every straight white guy?" And then she interrupted and said, "I did not say that."
No,
Replied with, "Well, you did. You're calling." Oh, who the fuck is? Oh, Miss Steam's calling me on Skype. Of course she is. I'm going to ignore that. I'm streaming, you bitch. He then replied with, "I'm not sexist. I'm not." Oh, yeah. "Well, you did. You were calling straight white guys like me a series of offensive, stereotypical labels, which I find offensive." He did. They went back and forth. He is very upfront. I quite like that.
Yeah, he's one of those people I know you're not meant to like, but since he started doing morning TV, I really like him.
Well, there's more. There's more. Here we go. Let's see. She said, "I don't think all white people are by nature racist from conception to birth. I think we are all the same. But we need to speak about how we're socialized as people, and my post was based on socialization and racism as a structure." No, it wasn't. It was about Charlottesville, and then you said all white people are racist.
Yeah, but previous to that, she apparently had posted about how white people can be allies. And then after
She
that
has.
said all
Her
white
fa-
people are racist. I'm like, make up your mind.
her Facebook page, if anyone wants to go onto it, is so funny. It's just astonishing how much cancer it is. She's very much abusive, quite abusive towards white people.
It
The
was
message to Miss Steam. So yeah, I thought that was rather entertaining. It's a shame that I didn't get a chance today to add some clips from that GMB or GMTV, whatever it's called, thing, because honestly, some of that was funny.
it was one of the best interviews I've seen in a long time.
I saw her on
there.
Channel 4. I saw her on Channel 4, and she was, and I added that in my video, and I was like, this is the. There was more to it with her being interviewed. And it was just so bad, so bad. Like, I'm sorry, I knew the moment she put that she got fired, she was going to use it to put herself out there, get 15 minutes of fame, claim victim, and would probably end up getting some job somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably. But she's not going to make L'Oreal look bad because not enough people are stupid enough to believe what she says is true. So they're not going to.
But listening to her talk,
Suffer
it just
for it.
sounds like she's regurgitating stuff she's seen online and like
No, yeah,
throwing in
she's just basically
buzzwords
gone onto
every now and
Tumblr. She went onto Tumblr to post her screenplay, and she saw cancer everywhere. It's magical, really. I'm somewhat unsurprised. I do wonder how long she'll be able to get away with it. I do. I'm also curious how many other news outlets are going to have her on.
Yeah, I'm guessing she's going to try and do the rounds.
Sorry?
I'm guessing she's going to try and do the rounds of all of them.
Oh, she will. She'll get some acting roles, which is what she wants. I read a lot of her Facebook posts. She wants to be an actress, proper actress. So, well, she's doing the victim character quite well right now.
Yeah, very well.
I wonder if I'm blocked by her on Twitter. I wonder. I'll check that in a bit. So, how's work, Mr. Bite?
Oh, hang on. I can hear him in the other room.
Oh, yeah, there we go. No, it's my fault. I'm having a vapor and I turned my mic off. I was wondering why you guys were ignoring me.
Genius.
I know. Yeah, it's good. It's all right. Yeah, every day. Every day in heaven.
Right. When you're
Vienna?
working
Yeah.
at this time of night. Oh,
well, I've got to do something tomorrow, and I was trying to get the jump on it a little bit. It just means I only do a lot of reading for this particular thing. I thought, if I just sit down,
that sounds so boring.
you have no idea. I tell you what, I could bore the paint off a door. I really could.
That sounds like a real good money saver for anyone stripping pills.
It would be. I could save everyone money. New career. Just walk and talk tech at people. And we bore the paint off the
Just
walls.
talk. I had to do a long time ago. I had to do this presentation on something called managing information systems.
Ooh, that sounds almost as
The
interesting.
single most boring thing I'd ever done in my life. I was so bored presenting it, and I wasn't surprised people were starting to nod off.
And why? And I do wonder why people.
At that point, I
People
realised
are trying to get into
I had
tech.
no.
I
Well, they're
don't get
lucky
it.
because a few one on systems analysis.
That sounds even more fun.
Oh yeah, that was better than any sedative. That was a party starter. I had no life back in college.
It's really annoying. I found a really good discussion point. I made a bookmark of it. I can't find it now. Damn it. The other thing on GMB was that whole was it Marks and Spencers? Yeah, John Lewis. Sorry, John Lewis. They're taking making school uniforms and children's clothing gender neutral.
Oh, they're doing it as well, are they?
Yeah. So it's just John Lewis. And he just what and yeah, it was just 85% of the audience had said no, we don't want this. They did it on
Really?
TV poll. Yeah. It's just the lady that was what Piers was trying to say to her was, look, are you looking to beyond this? Are you looking to like mix men and women's clothing all together? So you just got dresses for men and women and unisex changing rooms and everything becomes. And it's like no, it's just for the kids. And so they have a choice. It's like, and I don't think she was getting the point where he was trying to get to. Is like, look, that you get it. Why are you giving them this choice now when you're just going to segregate them later? Okay, he was a bit ranty. He wasn't really getting the point across well, but I got where he was trying to get to.
Yeah. It's really interesting with the school uniform thing because even if they made it, to be honest, kids' school uniform. If you remove the summer dresses, the blue and white ones, do you remember those with the stripes or the square things on squares on?
Yeah.
Remove those. They're the most bland things anyway. I mean, for the most part, you wore trousers or shorts. It's not saying girls couldn't wear those anywhere at school, but if the school uniform, girls could anywhere at school anyway. In the winter, if it was cold enough, girls wore tights or really thick ones.
Yeah, I used to get told off at school because my skirt was too long.
Really, when I was at school, the girls did everything they could to have. In fact, I've watched girls go to school here. They're wearing skirts that are that literally just about cover their bottoms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how have you not been sent home? I would send you home to either pull the rest of that dress down.
Yeah, people did that when I was at school. But I was
same.
the one that got told off for wearing an ankle-length skirt.
As far as I'm concerned, if the uniform is, if you want to say that these are for boys and girls, that's all well and good. But each individual school has their own uniform code.
Yeah.
So if, like, mine didn't have blazers, we had woolly jumpers. Everyone wore a woolly jumper, boys and girls. Boys wore a white shirt with a tie. Girls wore a custom-made blue and white striped blouse, which had the smallest buttons on, and if any girl had boobs and stretched, it was like that Carry On camping scene with tits. And that was awesome. That was awesome. I loved it. But there's a uniform. Girls could wear trousers if they wanted. So there was no real, like, in the summer, boys couldn't wear the shorts. We didn't have that option. But the girls could wear skirts, which the girls took advantage of, and yeah, they wore short skirts because they're tarts. So,
All
so I
of
don't
us.
understand. I don't understand this. I don't understand this kind of. Oh, I don't know. It's almost like they're trying to look as virtuous as possible. Look at us. We're so progressive. We've made these gender-neutral school uniforms, but it doesn't really matter.
No, because no school's going to allow it.
Oh,
But
they're not.
it happens every year, though, over here in the summer. There is at least
I
2 news
personally
stories
think-
about boys wearing skirts.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mhm.
I personally, what I would like, right? I think they should allow boys to wear skirts in the summer. We have external genitalia. We need the air. Okay.
I gotta
I
say,
think
I could rock a skirt in London.
Hey, look, I wore kilts, so it's fine. And they weigh a fucking ton. Especially the real
Really?
ones.
Are they
Yeah, mine was quite
made of-
heavy.
made of wool or something, are they? Or they look like
Yeah,
made of wool.
it's the material.
I don't think I would wear
You
one of
you
those
can't get
in
one made out
summer.
of the same stuff as like a. It's not like one of the summer dresses the girls wore at school.
I've got an idea. I've got an idea. If we bring back the toga, because
Yeah.
that'll bring, I'll cover everything. Then it's not quite well. It's a blanket. It's just a sheet, isn't it? Or do
No,
we
no,
wear
no,
to-
no, no.
or-
Because then people will say, "Oh my god, you're halfway there to being a member of the KKK."
okay. Well, wear dish dash because that's kind of like unisex.
I
Isn't
think
it?
everyone's just be naked. It's
no
just be naked.
no.
No, there are lots of people I don't want to
Just
see
not for-
naked.
I'm not getting on the I'm not getting the train in the morning into London and it being packed full of naked people.
You don't want to be next to that one, next to that one guy, that one dude who can't control his cock, and he's leaning into you, and he's parking up in your butt.
And
And
then,
you're like, nah,
they
dude,
suddenly stop quick. There's a sudden stop. And oh, pardon me.
he's just happy. Sorry, I better have penetrated you. Can I finish?
Ever so sorry, good sir. Oh, don't worry, happened to me last week. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll go to one of these. Go to IT conferences, and oh my god, it's just the size of these guys. Just the thought of having to go there and be a professional in front of a naked dude like that. But no.
Oh, are they really fat?
I mean, some are,
Yeah.
but just everybody is just this sickly white and bellied.
You can imagine, right? You go to your meeting, you're all naked, and one of them just starts doing a truffle shuffle, and you're like, those are things I don't want to see move. Oh god.
It would be funny though, considering how stuffy these meetings can be most of the time.
It might take the edge off the nudity, but there's a risk that, that you might cause an earthquake.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I'm not sure if it increased attention or decreased attention. I used to have a moustache. I know it's not quite the same thing, but I had like a twist, a full handlebar moustache, and I used to go to meetings with that, and I'd be talking, and people just wouldn't be listening to what I was saying, and just saw my moustache moving. I could tell they weren't listening, just being transfixed by my moustache.
Looking at the twirly, and they're like, I really want to twiddle that.
It was quite a spectacular tash, though. That waxed kind of and curled up at the ends.
Like,
Yeah.
Was it like a Q Poirot?
Bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger.
It was proper out, sort of 2 inches each side of my face, and then curled over.
Nice.
Yeah. Problem is that if you have to keep it waxed to that length, because if you don't, trying to eat a sandwich is a pain in the ass. Because you have to kind of lift up all the whiskers and then stick it in.
That must be an
That
absolute
sounds terrible.
nightmare. Like, if you imagine going out in the rain, you've gone out with your lovely mustache all waxed, but the wax is kind of given a bit from the rain, and you come in with it all droopy.
End up looking like Fu Manchu. Rather
Oh
than
dear.
Oh god, cultural appropriation.
Oh, you'd be called a massive racist.
I don't. Why does cultural appropriation work in the other way? Why can't we ever go at like Chinese people for wearing?
Oh, because white people don't have culture. You pesky white
Ah.
folk don't have culture.
Yeah, no, that's why everyone wants to come here. It's just terrible.
Yeah, to take away. Actually, somebody I was listening. Okay, so I was watching prison documentaries over the weekend because something about watching guys in prison suffer makes me
It's addictive.
it really is. But there was one I was watching about the Aryan Brotherhood in Texas.
Is that the one on
Really,
YouTube? On the prison
sorry.
documentaries? Is that the one on the prison documentaries channel?
Yeah, this one's about the in Texas, and I was listening to
Watched
it
that
while
one.
well, I was listening to it while playing a video game, and in it they mention stuff about ethno states, and they talk about who invented, and then they list off inventions, which yes were created or were invented by white people. So are they there by extension of creation, a part of white culture?
Hmm.
The answer is kind of a yes and no, I guess. Yes, because they were used applied to the country at the time that was predominantly white. No, because they became mainstream and were used everywhere.
But if you're talking about things like
Like, for
iPhones,
example, light bulbs, television, mobile phones.
yeah, but I mean, it's created by and then manufactured by.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so
It
I mean,
it gets
everything
that's
comes out of
why
China
I
and Taiwan. You know, does that mean that because they're making it, it's their culture? I don't know.
no, yeah, I agree. This is where it gets where it loses the original point that the guy was making about whether or not it is white culture or not, all while wanting a ethno state. Nothing wrong with being national or liking your country, but when you start adding race to it and becoming white nationalist or black nationalist or whatever, yeah, that's the problem.
The thing culture isn't necessarily a racial thing. It's more to do with each country.
Yeah, it is.
I was watching something the other day, and they were saying that I don't know, it was based on some you know good, big philosopher saying that humans are tribal by nature, and we'd like to draw lines
Mhm.
around certain characteristics or cultures, and that's the whole reason we have countries in the first place. If we were just humans, we'd all just be living in that kind of natural state as it is. I think it's partly because humans have got the capacity to know a certain amount of people, so it's best to kind of group together, and it kind of speaks to how we've grown up and evolved over time. That we it's better to work together in a small community, and then you can defend yourself, and obviously we're not in that point anymore where we need to defend ourselves, but part of what they were arguing in this piece was that if you would create you know kind of states and kind of like almost like teams, and have them competing against each other, like you have in houses and schools and things. It would breed healthy competition, and bring out the best in humans, as opposed to trying to kind of stick everything into one big melting pot and expecting it all just to work, because obviously we are troubled by nature. I don't know.
Hmm.
So what do you think?
I think the entire human race needs eradicating.
Well, 2020, it's not far.
Yeah, problem solved. It will certainly be messy as well.
There were a
I also
few
think
people I would allow
Mhm.
to stay around, but I don't think there are many.
No,
As a rule, like the general public, I have no patience for them.
yeah, I see enough of them on their phones walking, not looking, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, see your death.
Yeah,
You're going first, right next to the neo Nazis and Antifa. See how I said neo-Nazi and not actual Nazi? That's because those who think that they are Nazis aren't actually Nazis, they're neo-Nazis at best. Yes.
Even that's pushing it a bit. A lot of
It
the time.
really is.
mm,
They're just I don't know. I just want to I'd rather just pigeonhole them as white nationalists. Because that just yeah, some of them have regurgitated phrases used by Nazis, but it doesn't mean they're Nazis.
Yeah, it's just become synonymous with the worst thing ever, and then therefore anybody that disagrees with you is automatically that thing.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it waters down the word Nazi to the point where now I've heard people say it in the street as a it really shouldn't be like that. Then again, it's like it's like the word Voldemort from the Harry Potter books. People were so scared of using the word, they'd say he who shall not be named.
Mm.
You know who. I wouldn't want it to be like that, but if people are going to talk about Nazis, at least talk about it knowing history, know the context of the original word.
But most people don't.
No, they don't, because that requires time, learning, and effort, and they don't have any of those. They'd rather just assume and
Yeah.
follow the mob so they can vent their frustration that Daddy didn't increase their stipend.
Yeah. Because have you noticed there's like the generation sort of below us seem to have bred an awful lot of people incapable of any kind of critical thinking.
It seems to be a failing in our lives and system. Dennis Prager said this on an interview with Stephen Crowder. We have fast become a species of convenience that is less interested in freedom and more interested in what we're entitled to, because what we perceive to be human rights, like health care and benefits,
Yeah.
work, home, less interested in freedom than we are in having those. The convenience aspect. When I was a kid, people were calling my generation the PlayStation generation.
Yeah.
The current generation you could argue is the convenience generation. Um, oh, and just to bring back to Monroe Bergdorf, I was reading an interview she did on some website, and one of the answers, like, "What do you think about the future?" And she starts praising millennials and how they'll be the ones that solve the world's problems.
No,
I'm
they
like,
won't.
nah. Their way. Okay, so the progressive idea of fixing a problem isn't to actually fix the problem. It's to look at the past and blame the past for the problem existing.
Yeah.
That doesn't solve the problem existing. That just points out where the problem may or may not have come from. It's like the Brexit vote. The majority of older people voted to leave.
Yeah.
And a lot of people at the time pointed out that quite a number of young people didn't turn out to vote. They still turned out somewhat, and they did mostly vote to remain because they're idealists and they know jack shit. And when it all happened, the first two things they did was then go to look to someone to blame. They then blamed level of intelligence, and then they blamed older people because older people typically vote for a more conservative, because they're no longer idealist and they're a bit more, I would say, I don't want to say rational, but they've had a lot more time to think, and they've seen the damage done by idealists for 13 years.
It's the old saying, if you're young and if you're young and not left, you have no heart. If you're old and not right, you have no brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get it, and it's all about wanting stuff and not and then having stuff that you want to protect. When you're young, you have nothing. You want to be able to, you see the world as unjust because you don't have anything yet, and then as you start to accrue things over time, and you get a job and you've got money and stuff, you become a bit more protective about that stuff, because
Mm-hmm.
it's taken you a long time to get there. And you're like, actually, I don't want to give this all away now. I've worked too hard for it.
I can relate. I look around in this room, right? It's nearly all decorated. I hung some shelves recently, floating shelves, no less. And I put all my teddies on them, right? And I just got a new one in a box, which was in my little Loot Crate style box, which is a Rocket Raccoon one. Like, yes, that's right. But I've got like a guitar I've had for 12 years next to me, and I like other little bits and bobs that I've bought with my money that I've worked to get. And I don't want to get. When people say that, if you've got this, you're privileged, and you should give up X amount of things for other people less fortunate. I'm like, no, I'm really not going to do that because it's money.
I like my stuff.
Yeah, you what? You fucking what?
Boy.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you my guitar if you go home right now and kill your mother. Good luck. Actually, I honestly wouldn't give away my guitar. I never would.
I always think to myself, if I won like someone won like $300 million or something in America, and I thought if you have that kind of money and some dickhead comes up to you and says, yeah, if you don't give me £1 million, I'm going to kill myself. Like, hey, well, cheery bye.
See you later.
I'm not going to have any. I'm not going to have any crisis of conscience because you decided to kill yourself.
While you're busy offing yourself, I'm going to be having some other delightful Kobe beef and caviar.
Exactly.
Yes. Num 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 num. Oh look, there's a dead body, but this caviar's not going to eat itself. Nom, 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 nom.
I think that's probably why a lot of those
I have no idea.
do end up kind of going in
caviar.
themselves because just people become sycophants. And
I don't even know if caviar tastes good. By the way, I genuinely have no idea.
Nor do I.
I wouldn't mind. I would love to try it though.
I mean, the closest thing to posh I've tried is oysters, and I wasn't impressed.
I've had lobster. That was when I found out I was allergic, but yeah, it's not like a immediate threat allergy. It's not one that closes up my throat. It's a slow issue, but it does taste rather nice.
I do like a good surf and turf.
Surf and turf?
Yeah, you get it's like steak with lobster.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can get it in some places. Yeah, it's good. You get a bit of everything.
That's such a cool name as well. That's like Tex-Mex.
Yeah, exactly.
Not with what it is, but the name is kind of cool. Yeah. Fusion dishes. Oh god. Have you ever been to a place that does shots that when they give you the shot is in vapor form?
No. Wow.
A thing.
Yeah, that exists. It's really douchey. Basically, it started before vape was a thing. It's really douchey, and quite frankly, anyone who does it should be made to sniff glue.
It does sound a bit hipster.
Oh, it is. It really is. Essence of who gives a fuck? I can smell pretentious farts.
We used to do a thing called a silver. What was it? Flaming Lamborghini. I forget what was it. Have you ever heard of a flaming Lamborghini?
Oh, what cocktail?
Yeah.
No, but I like Lamborghini, so let's see what this is about.
Oh god, it's been so long I can't remember. I think it was something stupid like I think it was just something like Kahlua with Sambuca on the top, and then you just stuck two straws in it.
There was a video on how to make it, but there's some pictures. I'm gonna have to screen share this picture because that looks amazing. Well, the guy does look like he's having a bit of an orgasm there. Present to everyone. Yeah, this here.
That's what is it? Kahlua was basically just Kahlua with Sambuca on top. And I think that's a blue carousel and something else on the side. I think it might be like Bailey's or something. Curacao, blue curacao.
Yeah, it's orange.
Yeah. No, it's blue. It tastes orange. Yeah.
No, it's orange flavored.
Blue Caracu and Irish cream, then setting Sambuca poppy liqueur on fire. Caracu, I know what that is. When you said
it's 352 calories. Oh my god! Wow.
Oh, wow. My daily dosage is just getting fucked up.
Yeah. No, I had people come in and have several of those things, as well as a flatliner. Have you heard of flatliner?
I know what a flatliner is.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They're
know what that is.
disgusting things.
Sorry,
Ah.
what's that one?
Sambuca, Tabasco. You just pour a line, pour
I've
a
got to
line in
find
your
the
bottle,
drink that.
Sounds
and then
horrible.
and then white tequila. That if you pour it nice and slowly, and obviously that it's testament to the time of night and how busy you are.
Ah, here it is.
'Cause- and
Okay,
then
so there was a drink
yeah,
I used to have. That was. Oh God, I've got to try and read it. The image is too small. It was vodka, Southern Comfort, grenadine, amaretto, triples. Oh fuck it, I can't read that. Something else and cranberry juice, and it was called Red Death. Okay, it lived up to its name. It fucking kills. I used to just get random shots, and the guy would make them out of anything, from milkshakes to fucking raw egg.
That sounds really unpleasant.
Yeah, it was. Oh, there was one drink I really liked. Uh, where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, Screaming Orgasm.
oh god, that one.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's
Oh,
Bailey, isn't it?
okay. We
I think it
actually,
is.
I used to work together at TGI Fridays, and there was a whole routine that went with that drink. It was obviously
You're
reserved for
kidding.
no, it was a whole routine. And yeah, I look back on it, it's a bit cringy now, but I, I mean, wouldn't get away with it doing it today.
Was it really?
It, well, okay. What you did was, oh God, it sounds terrible. You get
Go on.
the lady in question, who, if it's birthday or something, to sit on the bar, and we
Mhm.
had some we had some furry handcuffs, and we handcuffed her to the pump, and then the bartender in question, and I did it a few times myself. You put all the mixture for the screaming orgasm into the mixing jug. You put it down your front of your trousers. You get the whizzer, yeah, and then you kind of go suggestively like into the to mix it up. And then you put the glass of ice between her legs, and the idea is that I had to then pour said cocktail from the place in my crotch into the glass
This
without spilling
sounds
any.
incredibly hot.
It was. I look back now. I go, oh my god! It was the
Oh, I love it. I
'90s. It
love
was
it
the
so much.
'90s. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, use that pouring a screaming orgasm like that.
Sorry, a second.
Nothing. I liked any drink that had like different drinks layers. That was always quite nice.
I
It
just
appealed to the Go
yeah, I avoided just basically anything that had Baileys in it.
I was
All
never a
right,
fan of it. But
can't
Oh,
stand
if it's
it.
used as a
brain
mixer,
hemorrhage. Yeah, the old brain hemorrhage.
I loathe Bailey's as well. But if you use it as a mixer, I can tolerate it.
Because like milk and cream and alcohol shouldn't mix in
Oh
my
no, I
head.
agree. My
It makes me
sisters.
feel a bit sick.
Oh, I
Have,
agree. It does it to me as well. But younger
have you
me
tried
likes
that? Have you tried the brain hemorrhage?
no. Tell me
If I
more.
remember correctly, it is sambuca, and then you pour in Bailey's on top of it in a shot glass, and then you get a bit of grenadine and drop it in the middle, and it looks like a floating brain. It curdles, and then they drink it.
That sounds incredibly unhealthy.
It's not a pleasant drink. It's more of a dare drink. It's a bit like the flatliner or one of these other ones, B52 and all that. You know, they yeah, it was never designed to that's tasty. It's like I dare you to get a flatliner, or I dare you to get a brain hemorrhage.
Right.
Get a brain hemorrhage after the flatliner.
I see. This is why I liked random shots because I never knew what I was going to get. Sometimes I get them with like ghost pepper chili on, and that starts your night. You're like, oh fucking hell, you're spending half an hour drinking milk.
Have you had a Boston Bulldog?
Hang on, give me a sec. I'll look it up. I'll know for certain when I see it.
Imagine a combination of a black and white
Yeah, I
Russian.
got a fucking dog first. Hang on. Oh yeah. Boston Bulldog cocktail images.
It's basically a White
Corona.
Russian with Coke.
Oh, okay. There's a Mexican bulldozer, which is the same bloody thing with a Corona sticking out the top.
That sounds awful.
It sounds amazing. No, I've had a Boston Bulldog, but I want to now have a. I'll screen share this because it's brilliant. I want to have a Mexican bulldog now. I want to have one of these. Yeah, give me one of those.
It's ridiculous.
Come on. Who doesn't want to do that? Oh, I love it.
I like the fact there's a picture of two bulldogs with cocktails.
That's brilliant. That is actually brilliant. I need that in my life. Oh dear. Dear. See, this is a good thing about like my younger self, and certainly I would assume yours as well. I don't know if you drink many cocktails now.
Occasionally.
I was willing to try anything. That was so good. Were made.
Yeah, I've got pickier as I've got older.
Yeah, like when I mentioned trying those drinks out, I only tried them because I didn't buy them. They were my stepmother's. Obviously, who gave me a bottle of Tennessee honey. He's actually he's now gone away for a month, and he's going to a Welsh whiskey distillery. I mentioned to my friend who I was playing on Steam with, which is why I was running late this evening with him, and I mentioned Welsh distillery, and he was like, I know which ones he's gone to, hasn't he? He's gone to Penderyn, hasn't he? I'm like, yes, he has. He's going to buy me a bottle from there, which is going to be so good. Penderyn is a quality scotch.
I gotta say,
I recommend everyone try it.
I've been to I've been to a lot of the whiskey distilleries around Scotland. I did a trip around Scotland years and years ago, so late 90s, and the one that only sticks in my mind, and the only one I liked was Oban. Have you tried Oban?
Sorry?
Oban. Have you tried it? Oban. It's
Oban? Yeah.
Oban, yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, OBAN.
Yeah, because it's sort of done. It's all by the sea. It's got a bit more of a. I think it's got more of a peaty sort of taste to it.
Yeah. Jura's a pretty solid one as well.
It's a little bit more mellow. It's not like some of the Highland stuff, which is a bit like.
Do you like peaty whiskies?
I think if I do drink whiskey, I like peaty whiskies, but I've got to be honest, I'm more of a bourbon drinker. I don't drink anything.
Then I would tell you now to buy a bottle of Lafroig Quarter Cask. That is quite possibly the most delicious peated whiskey I've ever had. It's not expensive either.
It sounds expensive, I must say.
It's not, but it is delicious.
Does it come in a amusing bottle?
Oh, I don't think it does. It comes in just a plain green bottle. $32.95. That's how much it costs.
That's not too bad. I hate whiskey though. I've tried numerous whiskies. I don't like it.
I can't be honest. I this idea of drinking straight, spirits. No, I prefer a longer drink. That's why I've got a big selection of rum now.
Sorry, I'm going to read the chat. Laura's telling me to check stuff. Oh, check Patreon. Right, I'll check that. Yes. I need to check stuff more often. This is one of the drawbacks of using a laptop, is that I can't keep an eye on the chat because I'm feckless. If I was smart, I'd pop the chat out and have it visible with the Hangout. But I keep forgetting to do it. Yeah, I need a life. Yeah, peated whiskey, Lafroig or Lafroig Quarter Cask. Their whole whiskey range is pretty much peated, and it's amazing.
Is it like an acquired taste whiskey?
Yes. When I was 20, I did not like whiskey. As I've gotten older, I don't drink alone. I make it a point not to. because I think that's kind of sad. It just doesn't feel right. If I'm talking to somebody over in a hangout, it's not. I don't feel like it's so bad. But I'd rather drink with people than alone. Oh, that's amazing. And so as I got older, like when I started at 20, when I properly started drinking anyway, I went to uni and got my loans and grants. And Jack Daniels and Coke, Snakebite, Strongbow. It was like half a pint of Strongbow, half a pint of beer, and then some Ribena or something, Vimto or something.
Yeah, Snakebite and Black was the best drink ever.
Snakebite was so fucking good.
Did you speak of the straw as well? Because there's a legend that got you drunk faster.
Yeah. I actually stopped drinking Snakebite after I turned 21 because I drank. Apparently, I don't remember this. I don't remember anything. There are so many stupid things I did, but apparently I lined up 10 pints of Snakebite on the bar. I got 7 pints in before I started blowing all over the counter, and I just turned the counter purple.
That's a lot of
and then
Snakebite.
It is, and apparently it's because somebody then came up behind me with a snooker cue and gave me a hug with it across my stomach. So it was their fault. And then I proceeded to finish my 3 pints and then decided to go and chase my housemate because I wanted to, and I quote, tickle his testicles.
I think everyone has stories like that of when they were younger and incredibly drunk, though.
I certainly do. Yes.
And just to clarify with Laura, Snakebite, the drink, half a pint of Strongbow, half a pint of beer, and then Vimto on top. Although I do believe my housemates also put shots of something in there. Like they get some Jaeger and then just sink the shots to the bottom of the glass.
I've had it with vodka in it as well.
Oh, isn't that got a name though? I think like a snake bite with a no.
I don't know. We used to do a thing, right? Do you remember the international? Do you ever remember international drinking rules?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My housemates were cunts. They'd obviously the penny rule. If you put it in the drink, you could do some real damage with that. And they also caught me out every time, like with names. You couldn't point your hand; you had to use your elbow. You had to drink with your other hand. You had to double tap your drink when you put it down. It was ridiculous.
And I think every kind of group of friends had a different set of rules as well.
Yeah, and it screwed me every single time. I got absolutely obliterated by these bastards. And getting them back was good, especially when they each turned 21 in their final year. Getting them hammered was good.
They're the rules on a 21st birthday, though. They're the rules on a 21st birthday, though.
One of my housemates in my last year when she turned 21, who wasn't my first year housemate, she had the most boring party ever. The only interesting thing about it was that a mother who was in her mid-30s at the time was wearing a very, very, very low-cut top, and her plastic tits were just there. That was interesting. She joined us for absinthe drinks, and yeah, that was interesting.
I've never had absinthe, actually.
I've got some right behind me still. I have from when I lived there. See, it's 5 years old now. It probably still is just as potent, to be honest, but
It's not something that's ever appealed to me. I used to be a vodka drinker, but when I was younger, but I don't think I could drink it now. I got too drunk too many times.
Yeah. I obviously at the moment I can't drink much, but I got a friend coming down mid-October, so I'm hopefully going to go see Dragon Force with him and drink some Pirates grog. I want to get my hands on a full-size bottle before he gets here, so I'm going to hopefully get one. Because I think once we're done with the small bottles, I know him enough to know he'll want to move on to something a bit bigger. Or just Kraken, who knows?
Yeah, Pirate's Grog is better. I think it's nicer than Kraken. But
Do
Kraken's
you like
got a
it?
better. Yeah. I'm not a huge rum fan, but I really like the Pirate's Grog one.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I'm glad you got a full bottle. You got a full size one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because I went with the gift size set. Yeah. Yes. I'm still waiting for him to taste them because he hasn't come down yet. And then I meant when he was going to come down this month, and then I found out that Dragon Force were playing in Dover in mid-October, and I was like, why not wait till then? So that's sorted. I also want to get I want to try and sort out another bottle of Deadhead if I can, maybe.
Oh, I didn't like that. Yeah, we've got a bottle of that here.
Oh, actually, that's my friend hasn't tried. My friend wasn't here when I got Ron, so he hasn't tried Ron yet.
Yeah, I need to get some of that.
Yeah.
Did you get the gin yet?
Not yet, no. I will get it.
Yeah. Laura's going to send me a bottle of Mount Gay Black. Well, apparently black's the best. I don't know.
Oh, we've got a bottle of the Mount Gay, just the normal
Mount Gay
one
any
here.
good?
Yeah, it's all right. It's Barbadian rum. It's what they used to make like rum punch and stuff.
Right. See, because I'm a whiskey person. Trying out new rums is quite exciting. It's like the gin thing as well. I would very much like to try different gins. Thing is, I don't drink fizzy drinks anymore, so I can't. Isn't tonic water fizzy?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't do that anymore. So I'd only drink it neat.
Oh, even I wouldn't drink gin neat.
I'm that yeah. It's either I don't want to get trapped gas ever again because that's pain. I don't want it.
I mean, depending on the
So
gin, some go well with like orange juice or cranberry juice and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, apparently they do, don't they? Oh well, I'll just give myself a bottle of Gordon's then because that's quality gin right there. So I was considering putting on that Brummy accent again, but I gave up. Oh dear, oh dear. I do want to get a bottle of what was the one you gin you recommended?
Hendrix is good. If you don't mind.
Laura recommended Bombay Sapphire, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Hendrix is all right if you like cucumber. It's made with cucumber.
I do not.
Well, then you won't like Hendrix.
Cucumber is an abomination.
Yeah. I feel exactly the same
only
way.
got you know why we have them? Because they're for poor people who can't afford dildos.
I've never been a big fan of cucumber. It's same with celery. I can't stand celery.
Oh, see, we're the same. I can't stand it either. The only time I liked celery was because it amused me on Peter Davidson's Doctor. On his jacket, I'm like, okay, you're rocking a celery stick. You're brave.
I think celery's worse because if cucumber's in a salad, I can pick the cucumber out and I can get with it. If it's in a sandwich already and it's too much hassle, I can eat it. But celery, no. If it's touched the salad, that's it's ruined.
I agree. I can't stand either. Oh, by the way, in the chat they're talking about tequila, I believe, and the worm. So I'll answer as well, of course. Would you eat the worm?
No.
I think I have.
I have. I've eaten chilied crickets.
It's not like you can just sit there and chew it, are you? I mean, are we saying we have to chew it or just swallow it?
Well, I'd assume just swallow.
Well, I don't. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I have no problem with it because my stomach's not going to be like, oh no, it's got a worm, it's going to burrow through me. No, the acid's going to be like, om nom 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 nom.
And it's the whole.
That's
The
it.
ones
Hang on.
with
And as I stated, I've eaten
alcohol.
chili crickets. I got a sample box from Protein World just after the Are You Beachbody Ready stuff shitstorm went down.
Oh,
And I
right,
got
yeah.
myself a box, and in there was a tub of chilied crickets. That is delicious. Just saying. People were like, "Oh, you're eating it for a dare, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, this is actually quite a good movie snack. Turn the Avengers back on, please."
They're meant to be like really high in protein, aren't they?
They are really good source of protein. They're delicious.
I don't mind eating a cricket. I just find the idea of picking a leg out from my teeth is a bit. Yeah.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Imagine chewing that thing.
I think it's a certain irony that I won't eat a piece of celery, but a cricket doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah. I can imagine like chewing on a worm. That would be weird. I have done like I didn't do army cadets or anything like that or scouts, but I did go with friends who did do that. So I learned to survive off the roughage, as it were, by cooking worms, which was interesting.
Oh, see, that
Or
sounds
using the bait, of
horrible.
course. Honestly, not bad actually. It's just what it is, you know.
I
It's just
wouldn't survive.
I then would get bored and find any fruit or kind of fruit weed that had lots of hairy bits on, so I could get the hairy bits and rub it on my friend's clothes. So when they put the clothes on, it itched like a motherfucker. I was a good friend. I was always a good friend, as you can tell.
Yeah,
Someone in the chat mentions they can't like Laura loves celery and cheese sandwiches.
Oh,
Well,
no.
you have
No, that's a good combination.
No.
No. Who would besmirch the poor, defenseless cheese?
No, I'm with Laura on this one. It's a good combination.
Tequila. Yeah. There is a really, I don't know much about it, but it's not on the list of drinks I would never touch. It's the only one because it's the only drink that has basically killed me. I just no, not happening. I remember loving doing shots of is it
Uzo, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
like
stuff's good.
Uzo, but
Goldschlager.
I've got a Greek family, so like
I used to pre-drinks before we went out with housemates, we would a number of shots. That number was determined by a piece of paper in a top hat. My Guinness foam top hat. And 10 different colours of aftershock shots. Shots or a killer. It's supposed to be pre-drinks, so you're supposed to just be like a little buzzed before you go out. When you've done 10 shots of that, you're not buzzed anymore. You're past half cut. Your drink gets your evening gets very cheap at that point.
Yeah, because you just don't get in the club.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I got into one once, but I looked really young even at 25. I had issues. I really did look too young. Did let me in, called Chicago, on Prince of Wales in Norwich. They had lots of music, and we managed to get in there, and we always got champagne in there. That's all we ever drank in there. I never understood why, but we just got champagne, and it was all right. It was bubbly and meh.
that sounds like an expensive night.
It was the really cheap champagne.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it wasn't expensive. I think it was like their house version.
So what,
So it
like
was
Carver?
just,
Carver then,
it probably was.
or Lambrini
Yeah.
or something like that.
Oh no, if it was Lambrini, I know my housemates would have pulled their straws out and strawpedoed the fuck out of that. Oh, I saw so many faggots sitting around campus trying to look cool with a straw coming out of their mouth, bottle of Lambrini on the floor, and I'd be like, "You look like a dickhead. Are you that desperate to have a buzz? You drink that shit."
I used to drink Baby Sham.
Nothing wrong with Baby Sham.
I even had like like the glass with the little deer on it as well.
Oh, really? Nice.
Frankly,
I'm classy and stuff.
I don't really remember what I
Well,
drank back at college. I really don't. I just lots of shots. I remember Sambuca going down a lot.
I remember a lot of shots as well. It was just a case of we had everything. Like we all at the beginning of the semester when we lived on campus, we each were put in charge of obtaining a spirit each, and be put into a tub and would be our collective spirit collection. Weakness for a housemate, he couldn't do Bell's whiskey. Every time he did Bell's, he'd throw up. To be fair, Bell's is pretty shit, so that's not surprising. Others, we all did our bit. The warm-up act, we'd always go for the beer, get a few cases from the campus shops. It was genuinely called the UFO. So we just go there and get fucking loads of beer, find food when we remembered.
But alcohol's far more important when you're that age.
It really is, and it's a shame I didn't go when I was 18. I think my liver would have been more prepared for adult life. Drinking that much alcohol, having not had much before, was quite a shock. Long time for me to develop any tolerance.
These days, I can't drink anywhere near as much as I used to be able to.
I probably could, but I'd have to be sat the whole. I think I'd have to be sat the whole time. I know that it took me a whole semester to be able to stand drinking beer. For Christmas, my mother bought me a 4-pack of Grolsch, and I actually didn't mind it. I quite enjoyed drinking that Grolsch. I went back to uni after 4 weeks, and I didn't like beer anymore because my tolerance for it had gone. But Grolsch was quite nice.
That's the one with the big bottle tops, isn't it?
Yeah, big bottle tops.
I used to buy those. I got into hip hop for a short while. Early 2000s.
Okay,
I know. And I got into
talking about food.
food.
Just think. All right, Gator. Okay, I've not tried that. Kangaroo sausages. I can go one better. In Iceland, they sell barbecue sets with kangaroo steaks. I've had kangaroo steaks. Kangaroo steaks taste like a denser version of beef. Tastes like a denser version of beef.
Have you had ostrich?
I have had ostrich. I've had wild boar as well, and I've had venison, which was in this barbecue pack. Sausages were absolutely delicious.
I really like venison. We get it fairly often. Makes us sound really posh, doesn't it?
One knocks over a deer, right? In our country, you know that rule we have.
Right, if you can't pick it up, but the guy behind you can.
Yeah, exactly. So my dad once did that. He knocked one over, and the first thing he did was he called a mate and said, "If you get here, there's half a deer for you." And he's like, "Fucking yes." Stella Artois. Stella Artois. I've never been a fan of it on its own. It's because of its mildness. So I'd use it as a shandy.
Wife beat a beer.
Yeah, as a shandy. So bad.
I should try Bundaberg rum. It's South African rum. Yeah, it's got like a little. It looks like nothing really. It's just got a little barrel in it. But you know when guys used to come in and have like shots. If you saw them getting on the Bundaberg rum, you go right, get the bouncers in quick because it's a really fighty bit of rum. You know, people would genuinely that, and there's also it's always South African Castle beer as well. Castle beer and Bundaberg rum. You know, it's going to be a fight.
Oh, really?
Guaranteed. Yeah, it's almost guaranteed. All right. Call the SWAT team.
Mentions that kangaroo is dry as fuck. It is. We barbecued it, so there wasn't really that much of a problem because I just kept pouring my beer onto it. Cooked kangaroo steak. Bundaberg rum is Australian, apparently.
Oh, it's Australian. Okay.
I thought it was Australian because
Yeah, my bad.
Tim Minchin did a whole bit about.
Oh, gotta be
Bundaberg.
careful. Carlos is an expert. He's an expert. He'll kill you.
Well, Bundaberg.
I'm getting really sleepy now. Yeah. Are you okay with me ending this here now?
Yeah.
That's good for me.
Yeah? Okay. Oh, fuck it. Every time I go to end a hangout, I almost hit the button, which would have left you two here for 8 minutes before it would hang up itself. Imagine how awkward that would be to carry a stream that, ended. Daring used to do that when he did streams. He'd be live, and then he'd leave the stream. He'd just leave it. Like, where the fuck's he gone, the stupid fuck?